So you want to grow your personal brand? I've got you covered. I'm going to show you exactly how to do it next. Hey y'all, welcome to my channel. I'm Braden Wirch. If this is your first time in my channel, make sure you hit subscribe. I continue to push out amazing value to grow you personally and financially as well. Alright, so today we're going to be talking about how to grow your personal brand and specifically how to grow your Facebook page. Growing your Facebook page is very important for many reasons. Many consider it to be the foundation for all your personal branding and all of your social medias. And as you know, Facebook's the largest social media, millions and millions and millions of users. So it's incredibly powerful in what I consider to be the foundation for your personal brand. So today we're going to go ahead and cover how to grow a very large following and engaged following on your Facebook. So let's go ahead and switch right over to the computer. Alright guys, so I've listened to several personal branding experts and learned from quite a few of them on how to build a very engaged personal brand. And so I've learned from Lewis Howes, Tai Lopez, and a few others. And Tai Lopez especially, who's grown a massive personal brand. Whether you hate him, you think he's a scam artist, or whether you really respect him, it's besides the point. He's built an amazing personal brand for himself. And he considers Facebook to be the foundation. Now, I agree with him on certain points and disagree on others. So I do believe that Facebook is the foundation because it's the best for promoting your businesses, currently what you're doing with your businesses, whether you've got any products, and just your overall story. And I'll get to story in a little bit, but Facebook can definitely be the foundation for you. So at the time of this video, I currently have just shy of 200,000 likes and follows on my Facebook page. So what we're going to first talk about is to focus on one social media at a time. And I learned this from both Lewis Howes and Tai Lopez. So what you want to do, you want to have your Instagram, possibly YouTube, your Snapchat, all of those present, and you don't want to leave them dead, but you want to focus on one at a time and treat it like a business. So, I'm not saying go all in on Facebook. If you want to go all in on Instagram, do that. If you want to go all in on YouTube, do that. I actually think that there's way better engagement on Instagram and especially YouTube, but I just focused on Facebook in the beginning, and I then added Instagram on, and so at this time I've got about 6,700 on Instagram, and I literally just started YouTube a week and a half ago. So the point is, focus on one at a time and treat that like a business, and then what I like to do is have one other that still has quite a bit of interest, and then maybe a third in the pipeline. So with Facebook, if you're focusing on that in the beginning, what you want to do is you want to do the setup. So this doesn't just apply to Facebook. This applies to your personal brand as a whole. The first thing you need to do is find your niche. So I personally believe that everybody has value to give. So, you take your interests and take what you're good at. You might not think you're good at anything, but I guarantee you that someone can get value from you. So think what that could be and what interests you. So whether you want to do it in fitness, I have mine primarily around business and how to grow people personally and financially. Whatever you want your niche to be, you need to decide the niche because you're going to stick with that through all of your personal brand. And so that goes right into telling your story. And telling your story and keywords are incredibly important. And these are the two that, especially keywords, is what I personally came up with, at least on mine, that I found to be very powerful. So with tell your story, what you're wanting to do is essentially tell, the interesting part of your life, what your story is, how you got from A to B. For me, it was, I was a firefighter. And then I grew to where I had many six-figure businesses. So, that's my story, and I always stick to it. You want to stick to your story, and it's best to have a story that has emotion. And this doesn't mean it needs to be some sob story. I mean, if you have it, that works. But people respond to a story. So, let's say you were kind of the underdog story. You were the from rags to riches, that sells like crazy for building your personal brand. The point here is find your story, find how you can kind of unveil your pain. So, you know, my pain was that, you know, my wife and I, we were struggling to make ends meet. I wanted her to be able to be stay at home. Eventually when we do have kids, that won't be for a long time, but when we do have kids, I want her to be able to be a stay-at-home mom if she wants to. And so, you know, that's where I came from as far as the pain route. And then, you know, that's not near as bad of a pain as a lot of people have, but a lot of people have responded to that exact same emotion. So whatever your story is, stick to it, find your emotion, and tell that in your story. And so that leads into keywords. So keywords are words that you're going to use frequently and consistently in everything with your personal brand. Along all the social medias needs to stay consistent. With Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, you need to keep everything consistent. So everything from your story to your keywords. So if you guys been following me for a while, you know that my two big keywords is grind. You know, I love to talk about the grind and how in the beginning, you know, I was putting in 18-hour days consistently, and then the other one is over-delivering value. I love, you know, providing value to people, helping see other people grow. So I stick to that. So many of my posts, most of my posts include one of the two, if not both. So you need to find keywords that you can stick to, and this applies to every niche. You know, if you're in fitness and it's, you know, fat loss or whatever you want to dig into, you need to go ahead and find consistent keywords that you can stick to. So the next thing would be you need engaging content. And so with the new Facebook algorithm that came out, it's a little bit harder to get organic reach. But the great thing about building a massive Facebook page, and this is why it's so important, is one, you're going to be able to tap into your email list, and two, if you boost a post, so you want people to see that post, if you boost the post to the people that like your page, it's not going to cost very much. Not very much compared to just trying to boost a post to you know, a cold audience. So you want engaging content, you know, even if you're not going to get as big of an organic reach. So the best engaging content are videos, and you can upload and link your YouTube videos, and I do that by fault, but the best way to do it is actually take a video and directly upload it to Facebook. You'll get way better engagement. Facebook doesn't like you taking people off their platform. Sometimes you have to. So then the other thing would be Facebook Live. That's very engaging. And then if you have a blog or any type of post like that, those also are great. But I like to post blog posts from people that fit in my niche, convey my message or a message I agree with, and that I know my followers would get value out of. So I like to post, you know, Grant Cardone, Gary Vaynerchuk, you know, Lewis Howes, several different people that I really agree with their message. I'll post those. And so the other way to get a lot of engagement, this will push out your posts, is to ask questions. So in your post, you know, say comment below, yada yada. That'll boost up, because if you get a lot of likes and comments right off the bat, Facebook is going to push your post out. So that's a way to boost up your engagement. Another great thing I found is quotes. So I'm going to show you how to grow to 10,000 organically, so without money. You want to post at the best times. So you can look this up, and you're going to need to experiment, because I highly agree that this is very niche dependent. But for me, I found that 11 a.m., 4 p.m., and 2 a.m. are the best times for me to post. The best way to grow your following right off the bat and have an engaged following right off the bat is invite all your friends to like your page. You know, most people have at least, you know, anywhere from like 2 to 1,000 friends on Facebook. Why don't you invite all of them and see who really responds and likes your page? A very powerful way to boost your page organically is to co-promote with other groups and pages. So you want to find groups and pages in your niche that you can either reach out to the administrator, or you can just start promoting other people's content that you agree with their message and your followers would find value in. And essentially you're just going to co-promote each other's posts and everything like that, and you'll both be growing a following. And this works very, very well in the beginning. But staying consistent with your posting schedule and then doing these will grow you to 10,000 organically. It might take a little bit of time, but this will do it. And then you also can build your own group. So if you make your group around, let's say you're in the fitness niche, it could be like lose 20 pounds in however many weeks group. And then you can start, pushing people to your page in your own group. These are all great ways to grow organically. So now I'm going to teach you after the first 10 to 15,000 how I grew to 200,000. And this does take a little bit of investment. And both of these techniques I learned from Tai Lopez, and it worked great, and it's still working great. So the first one that you'll do is you'll make an ad boosting your page, and you'll do global reach. You won't specify the country, you'll just do global reach, but you actually want to do specific targeting. So you'll want to target people that would be interested in your niche. So again, if it's fitness, have all fitness targets. If it's business, you'll have e-commerce, business, motivation, all that. And so you're going to be getting a global audience really quickly that likes your page and wants to follow you. And then what's great is you can then target down a local reach. So if you just want to target the United States or even in your city. So this works really good if you've got a business page and you're trying to promote your business. Start with a global reach, get that social proof, and then you'll target a local, do a local reach ad, and your cost per follow on your page is going to be much, much lower than if you're starting from scratch. And social proof goes with everything. Social proof goes with your personal brand. It has to do with if you're selling a product, on e-commerce store. Social proof has to do with everything. So it's very important to get that in the beginning. Once you hit a certain point, and I found it to be about probably about 30 to 40,000 followers, it started to snowball. So I was starting to get a lot of organic likes and follows. And this is when you don't need to spend as much on ads, and you can then turn them off, and you're going to still be getting organic followers. I still keep a few of my ads on. Now, when I say ads, I do not mean running $10 a day to do this. You can do this for $1 to $3 a day. I run my global reach, I start at $3 a day. If you want to budget at $1 a day, that's just $30 a month. You're going to get a lot of followers off of $1 a day if you've got the right targeting on a global reach. And this is just a great way to start building up your foundation of a personal brand, and then you can go ahead and push it into your other social medias. And so if you're starting with Facebook, this is definitely the way to do it, and to build your following quickly. I mean, I started my page probably about 8 months ago or so, and I mean, I've got 200,000 followers, and they're followers I'd want and I interact with, and several of them follow me on the other platforms. So it's great. And then also you want to go ahead and start building an email list. And this is where I lacked in the beginning. I didn't capitalize on this till later on, but you want to grab your email list and have it integrated. I use MailChimp. You want to integrate with your Facebook. That way, later on, whether you have, a product, whether you're wanting to send, a daily newsletter, you've got something of value you're wanting to give to your followers, you're able to do that with an email list. So my biggest thing with your personal brand, not just Facebook, but your personal brand as a whole, is add value. If you're not providing value, there's no reason for people to follow you, and they shouldn't follow you. I've talked in other videos about how the world is value driven, and whether you're successful in fitness, you're successful in business, you're successful in technology, whatever it ends up being that you're successful in, use that as a tool to help others and provide them value. There's too much hurt in the world. I know this is getting on a soapbox and sounding cheesy, but use your platform if you're building a personal brand to help people. and you'll you know, benefit from it in return. You know, if you've got a great product, then one, you're going to help people by selling that product and getting your product out there, and two, you're going to be benefiting from it financially. So it's definitely a great idea to start building your personal brand now. And I know if you think, you know, there's no reason to do it, you have value to provide. So just think what that is, brainstorm on it, and what direction you want to take your personal brand in, and then you need to decide, you know, am I going to start with Facebook, Instagram, YouTube? What am I going to really dive in and focus on like a business? Once you do that, just get started. But this is definitely the way to do it with Facebook. The biggest tip, besides the consistency, finding your store, the keywords, the biggest tip is definitely the global reach ad at $1 to $3 per day. That'll build your following very quickly, and it's a fairly engaged following. It's not as good as local reach, but it'll be fairly engaged. Alright guys, I hope you found insane value in this. Definitely get to starting your personal brand now. You know, you don't want to wait too long on this. So make sure you leave a like on this. Leave your comment on if you've started your personal brand and what your favorite techniques are to building your personal brand. Make sure to subscribe. Keep grinding, y'all. See you in the next video.